hot compact cars like this Kia Forte GT often offer the best of both worlds. Performance driving, but also efficient and economical. But just how economical is a car like this? Today, we're gonna find out. This is Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor, and today we're running the real-world highway fuel economy test on the Kia Forte GT with the 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. A pretty tame spec on this particular GT, just finished in a nice gray color, but you can tell it's the hot version because we've got red detailing in our grille and on our front fascia there. I love hot compact cars like this because you can have them as a daily driver. You can go to work every day, but then on the weekends, in the evenings, whatever, you can go out for a spirited drive and have an absolute blast. These cars are truly fantastic options for daily drivers, and I wish more people embraced the hot compact segment. This one in particular, the Kia Forte GT, is powered by a 1.6-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, makes about 200 horsepower, 195 foot-pounds of torque, and this particular car, as I mentioned earlier, has the 7-speed DCT, but you can also have it with a 6-speed manual. All right, guys, well, what do you say we go ahead and get the test started and find out just how economical this Kia Forte GT really is? So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's fuel economy test, which gives this Kia Forte GT 35 MPG on the highway, only averages 48 miles per hour. And we know that some people like to actually take their cars on long road trips. So what we do in this test is we go out 50 miles and back 50 miles, averaging 70 miles per hour throughout the entire trip. And through doing that, we hope to receive a more real world figure. A couple things worth noting today. Outside temperature is 45 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll be running the climate control in here at 73 degrees auto, and the tire pressures have been set to their door placard indicated 35 psi cold. We'll also be using the same gas pump both times with the same 3-click fueling method. All right, let's go ahead and do our first fill. All right, and 4.3 gallons in there for our first fill today. All right, 73 degrees auto on our climate control. We're gonna go ahead and reset our trip here. And we're also gonna start our timer, and let's go ahead and hit the road. So a couple of drive modes on this Kia Forte GT. We've got normal, sport, and smart. Today we're going to be running in smart mode. We don't have an eco mode on this car. In fact, a lot of Kias don't have eco mode, but smart mode is the closest we can get, so that's what we'll be running in today. All right, guys, well, the highway is about a half mile away. I will catch up with you once I am merging on. So the purpose of this test is not to hypermile. I'm not going to be doing anything like drafting or being super economical on purpose. I'm just gonna get on the highway, set the cruise control to a GPS indicated 72 miles per hour, and just drive. We'll be doing everything normally, just as you would on a normal 70 mile per hour road trip. Go ahead and get the car up to speed here. So on our first highway impressions with this Forte GT, well, it's not so bad. The car seems to be revved a little bit high. I am in 7th gear, but with this little bit louder exhaust you get on the GT, you can hear it a little bit. We'll have to see how much that affects me after an hour and a half or so of driving. But for right now, it's okay, especially if you have music on, I assume. It'll be fine. Oh, and speaking of music, if you're curious to learn more about this Harman Kardon sound system, I will have Charlie's sound system review linked in the description. Otherwise, though, there's a little bit of road noise, but wind intrusion seems to be just fine. And of course, being that this is a Kia, we have lane keep and steering assist and adaptive cruise control, all wrapped up in this $26,000 hot compact package. So pretty cool stuff here. I'm quite happy with this car. If you want to learn more about the car also in general, I'll have my full review linked in the description, as well as the sound system test. So I'm going to go ahead and get settled in get driving, and I'll talk to you guys in about 95 miles. Finishing up our journey here in the Kia Forte GT. Unfortunately, we hit a little bit of traffic on the home stretch of our trip here, so that may have skewed our results slightly. We'll make sure to account for that once we get back to the pump and do some calculations. The car was reading just over 38 MPG. In fact, it was right around 38.4. And now it's reading right around 37.8, which is still a fantastic figure considering the EPA rates this Forte GT at 35. So we're still quite a ways above EPA according to the car. We'll have to see what that actually is when we get to the pump, because the trip on the car and on the GPS are slightly off. So we will we'll have to see what it actually got when we do a little bit of math. But otherwise, comfort-wise, it's been pretty good. These leather seats make for a pretty nice long distance experience here. And also, if you're not running a fuel economy test, you can try out the heated and cooled functions of them. The road noise, wind noise situation, totally fine. I've had really no comfort issues with this car. Lane keep assist and steering assist also do a pretty good job, except when they try to pull you off onto an exit. The only complaint I really have about the driver aids on this car is the adaptive cruise control. It does an okay job, but when you're passing and getting around other cars and trying to make it so you're not impeding traffic, it takes a while to get back up to speed, and sometimes it acts confused a little bit. So not the biggest fan of the adaptive cruise on this Forte GT, but everything else has honestly been just fine for an economy car, a little hot compact. It has done quite a nice job. So with all that said, I'm going to finish out my last 4 or 5 miles here, and I'll catch up with you guys once I get back to the pump. All right, and 2.683 gallons in for our final fill. So let's go ahead and do some math. Our trip today, 102.25 miles. And we'll go ahead and divide that by the 2.683 gallons of gas that we used. And that gives us a total of 38.11 MPG. Now, a couple things to keep in mind here. We were stopped for a second by a little bit of traffic. So I think if it wouldn't have been for that, we may have even squeezed out another 0.2 or 0.3 of a mile per gallon. But averaging out here, 38 MPG on a car that the EPA rates at 35. So a phenomenal performance here from this Kia Forte GT. I'm very proud of it. I love little hot compacts, and this just makes them look even better. So very good figure here. So 38.11 MPG, this Forte GT has a 14-gallon fuel tank, which gives you an effective highway cruising range of 530 miles. I usually like to say anything over 500 is a pretty good figure. So very efficient, fun to drive, and you get quite a bit of highway cruising range. So pretty good little package here with this Kia Forte GT. Happy to see that it beat EPA, and I bet without that little bit of traffic, we may have done even better. And that's going to wrap it up for us today. Thank you all so much for watching. A good little package here, lots of good driver aids, comfortable on the highway, efficient, fairly priced, and this is why we love hot compacts over here at Daily Motor. So again, thank you all so much for watching. This has been Christopher Brower here with Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.